This EnglishPower video focuses on paper 2, question 5, which is all about writing a viewpoint. Today we're going to look at a new question, and we're going to look at one on gender. This video will work best if you recall some of the teaching you've had on issues around gender in your English curriculum. That might be when we looked at mice and men. It might be a unit in year 10 around gender. But running through as a thread, there will be some facts and some opinions and some discussion about the role of different groups of people in society. This particular question is deliberately contentious. I've tried to give you something to argue with. Let's have a look at our statement. Women in modern society are complaining about nothing. They have equality. Explain your point of view on this statement. Now, for the purposes of the video, I'm going to suggest that actually women don't have equality, and I think the statistics will probably back that up. So, what I want you to do, please, is decide what you think. Why do you think that there is an argument for women don't have equality? And what are your opinions around it? Pause the video here, then unpause, and we'll look at 3 possible nutshells that I've written around this topic. Okay, you've had to think about what you think. Let's have a look at 3 possible arguments. Women in society do not yet have equality. It is damaging and indefensible. Women suffer more crime, more prejudice, worse healthcare, and worse emotional well-being. They deserve better. Remember, that follows our pattern from previous videos of a clear statement, 2 emotive pieces of language, a dash, and then a strong statement about what you do believe. Let's have a look at another one. Women in society do not yet have equality. It is damaging and indefensible. Things are better than they were in history, but that's like saying things are better now, we don't get eaten by dinosaurs, and thinking that that solves all the problems of the modern world. There are still problems for women. And a third one. Women in society do not yet have equality. It is damaging and indefensible. Without equality, half of our world is working in a cage, and their full potential has not been released. Now, I've been quite careful to recycle some of these bits here. You can see across all 3 that some things are similar. That's deliberate, partly because I'm a little bit lazy, and partly because I think it's good for you to see that actually, once you've got a piece of language you're happy with, you can build on that and use it again and again for different topics. So, a reminder of what a decent paper 2 question 5, a piece of non-fiction writing would involve. 1. Decide what you think. 2. Write your nutshell. Give a clear statement, 2 emotions, a dash and a strong statement. 3. You need to structure your writing, and I'll do a reminder of the structure in a moment. And 4. Don't forget, you need some facts and some case studies. You should have material from what you've been studying, and there's a bit in this video later on to support you with writing those paragraphs as well. Here's the structure. Some sort of descriptive opening paragraph, a rhetorical question or a single sentence paragraph. Something factual, cover the big picture and set the issue in its context. A personal response, use local opinions or relevant case studies. The message, read through what you've written so far and rephrase and repeat your strongest idea, it should match your notes. Then, at some point, drop in another 1-sentence paragraph for balance. I would suggest it's either your penultimate paragraph or your last paragraph. What we're going to do now is we're going to work through that question from start to finish as an example. Remember, once you're done, your English teacher might well want you to write this up and submit it to them so that you've had a go at one. Take a good look at this picture. In the centre, a man appears to be juggling 3 babies while balancing something on his feet. To his left, an office. To his right, a kitchen. Take a moment to decide, what on earth is this picture going on about? What am I trying to say about gender equality? What am I trying to say about the way that the world operates with this little bizarre diagram? Then, when you've unpaused, we'll have a look at how I might have turned that into a descriptive paragraph. Away you go. Okay, descriptive paragraph time. There are some sentence stems on the screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through how that paragraph might look. Squealing, screaming and crying, 3 babies fly through the air. Beneath them a father juggles. 1 baby thrown into the air, another caught, 1 baby thrown, another caught. Between babies, he has to achieve 3 other jobs. If he fumbles or drops a child, clearly that's not good. On his computer, 100 unread emails sit rotting and occasionally ping demandingly for his attention. Around him, the chaos of a life that is overfull of responsibility lies in piles and untidy heaps. Later today, he must cook, he must do a day at work, he must provide childcare. All of those things are on his to-do list. When you describe this scene with a father, why does it seem so complex and unreasonable when society expects this level of work from women every day? So, it's a deliberately over-exaggerated example. It's quite silly, clearly. For health and safety purposes, I ought to say good childcare does not involve juggling the children. That's a metaphor. Okay, but also you can see how that builds up to your case. Your case is that actually people have too much to do. And if you apply it to men, it sounds silly. If you apply it to women, that's actually a sort of thing that we've got used to the idea of the superwoman being able to do. So I've set my case, I've set my argument, but at the moment it feels a bit like a piece of descriptive writing with 2 sentences on the end. So as we develop now, we'll have to look at how to make it more factual. You now want a 1-sentence paragraph. Here I've made some suggestions. Inequality destroys lives. We are fooling ourselves if we think society is equal. Society needs equality. Men and women united are more powerful and more successful. You can either choose one of these or twist and shape one of your own using them as pieces or for inspiration. Our next paragraph should be fact-based. You want to use certain key phrases so that you get used to using them, and there's a list of them, some of the good ones in the box. Then you want to pack it full of facts. And in the next portion of the video, I'll take you through some facts you can use. Here we see some facts you can use, just in case you haven't had a chance to research this or you can't remember some of the stuff you've studied in class. Internationally, of the people who cannot read or write, the people who are illiterate, women make up 64%. And that's to do with attitudes towards educating women in many countries across the world. In the UK, women earn 10% less than men on average. And that's when you factor in similar jobs and similar roles and similar working hours. There's a call to the domestic violence unit every minute in the UK. 10 years ago, a man in the UK killed a woman every 3 days. It is the same in 2020. So gender-based violence isn't improving. Up to 30,000 women each year are sacked for being pregnant in the UK, which is illegal. Half of 12 to 13-year-old girls in the UK want to lose weight. And that might lead you down avenues of thinking about social media and body image and those kinds of ideas and the way that that disproportionately reflects on women. Your job now then would be to turn those into a decent paragraph by adding some stuff of your own, doing a quick bit of research and putting them in a sensible order. You need to give some sort of local case study and humanise the facts. You might want to be layering up case studies if you're feeling adventurous and adding an expert. Here you can see some pieces that might help you. I've borrowed a bit from Of Mice and Men. This woman is a sort of modernised version of Curly's wife. Let's have a look at how I've described her. Lucy, a recently married woman, describes her marriage as something out of the 1930s. She detailed in a recent study by the Royal Institute of Marriage Studies an unhappy marriage that she made because all my other options were worse. She describes, and then you could go on kind of using Curly as an example, a man who treats her badly, fights with other men, is jealous, possessive, whatever. Okay? But build up something you've already got, put a little twist on it, save yourself some thinking. Then I think you ought to kind of generalise from your own opinion and things you see in the world around you. In some homes, everything feels equal, but, and you can talk about the idea that some people don't split the housework very equally, for example. Then you want an expert. Okay? Let's have a look at this one. An economist, Peter Bradshaw, states paying women less than men is bad for the economy, eventually, because, and you might want to think about things like spending money, the idea that if you pay someone more, they go out and spend more, so the economy benefits. There's kind of ideas you can use in there. But actually, it's fair to pay people for the same wages for the same work. You now need to get to the point where you conclude your argument. So, at this point, I'd go back to my 3 nutshells. I'd choose one, and because I haven't used them anywhere else, I'd put them in here. Now, over the course of this video, I've talked you through roughly how you might structure it. Don't forget, really good English students aren't afraid to go back to Google and find some more information. A brief 20-second Google of gender inequality in the UK will find you loads and loads of facts because it's very well studied. Don't forget, you can also use stuff from your course. And, as always, if you need anything, email your English teacher. Talk to us about your work because we're really interested in how you've got on. Best of luck. If you need anything, you know where we are.